we get the marketing and the algorithms that tell us that there's one path, and it's all like, and those are the people who are selling their stories. And that you'll find on my channel a lot of interviews, and I like to interview people that have different stories. I have one person who blew up with one ornament on Etsy, and then I have another one that was TikTok shop. But then I have other ones who are like, oh yeah, I realized I hated making all this stuff, so I just went digital. And it's fun to hear all these different ways
to find success.
To find the success that you want.
Typical.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Source podcast, the number one podcast if you like eating at night. Today we have a very special. Yeah, Matt doesn't do that. We have a very special guest with us. It's Katie Devlin. She joined us on our LBX panel, which we still haven't published, but it's okay. You don't have to wait for Katie. We've got her here with us tonight. How are you doing, Katie?
I am excellent. It's been a long day, but I'm good to go.
You're busy. How long have you been actively doing stuff in laser communities?
About a little over 3 years at this point.
A little over 3 years?
Yeah.
3.8 thousand subscribers on YouTube with just 46 videos. That's a lot of subs for 46 videos. So those have got to be rocking for sure. 3.5 thousand on Instagram. Oh my God, your list just keeps going. There's so much stuff I want to ask you about. But before I start jumping into stuff, what would you tell people your deal is? What's your elevator pitch for things Katie makes and all that jazz?
Sure. Well, I think one of the things that when I started working with lasers, I started with a Glowforge because it was like, if you had a Cricut, you basically got blasted with Glowforge ads. And I wasn't familiar with lasers at all, just that didn't exist in my mind. But when I found, Facebook groups and all those things, the thing that breaks my heart is when I see people who are like, I haven't taken my laser out of the box, or my rotary has been in the box for 2 years because I'm terrified to use it. So my entire goal is to make things simple so that people will use the tools that they have. No one wants a $10,000 paperweight. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not as scary as it may seem. And so I like to work through really, things that might seem basic to people who've been doing this for a while, but they're really the step-by-step projects or trainings or learning to make it so that your laser. You shouldn't have to go look in 10,000 Facebook groups to figure out what settings you need for speed and power for your product. You should be able to do that. And that should be one of the first things you learn. So I am an educator first and foremost because I felt like there was room for more people doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like teaching, and I get bored really easily. So I like to make new things. So I like to just try stuff. And then once I figure out, I kind of geek out about it. So who better?
You have to share that with somebody. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I really, I totally get it. We just published a video today called "What is a Laser," and it's like a minute and a half long, and it just tells people what a laser is. It's super short. There's somebody out there. It's not going to be our most viewed video on the channel, but somebody out there is was waiting for that to be uploaded. And
100%.
I totally get you definitely need to break things down really far for a lot of people that just they're uninitiated, and being the person that
right now, there's got to be more.
Yeah, being the person that you get to help them take the first few steps into the light, that must be really fun to do that all the time.
It's so fun, especially when someone is they're just terrified. They're just, I had someone that was like, okay, all I see is that people burnt a lens, or they shattered their glass, or they did this, that, or the other thing. How do I not do that? And I'm like, oh, that's easy. We got you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not that scary.
What would you say your your home base is as far as your presence online? Where do you spend the most of your time, and kind of operate out of online?
Yeah, so conversations on Facebook more now. It used to be Instagram, but it's become more Facebook. It's easier to have, multiple
a dialogue
going. Yeah. But YouTube is my primary, like where I'm putting out content and where I can give a lesson in a way that's thoughtful and planned for.
Yeah. We're just going to spend an hour plugging your myriad of things online. So be okay with that right off the bat. So I just want to differentiate really quick. So you've got a Facebook page called Things Katie Makes, but you also, it looks like you are part of the management of like a Facebook group called Laser Maker School. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So I have 2 different groups that I'm running right now. Laser Maker School was the idea of just people generally will buy a laser with the intent of either, like very rarely are you spending that much money and thinking you're not planning to make some money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's really easy to find resources if you know what you want to do. So if you're like, I want to have an Etsy shop, it's easy to go say, okay, I'll go learn about Etsy. But if you're like, I don't know where I want to sell and I don't know how to know that, I like to talk about more of that stuff. Like if you hate taking pictures, you can't be on Etsy. You just can't, right? But if you love talking to people, markets, local, there's tons of opportunities there. So this was more of a broad, like, okay, let's learn about your laser. Let's talk about where you can sell and how you can sell and help with those sort of things. That's what that group's about. And then as soon as I got my Thunderbolt, I reached out to the guys at Thunder and was like, you're going to have a group that starts about this laser. So either I start it and you know me and we can talk about things that you're like, make sure people don't say this or don't learn this or don't do this wrong.
Yeah.
And so I have the Bolt group, which has grown super fast. There's like 500 people in that group and that laser's been out since August. And that's fun.
Was that your first jump out of Glowforge, was into the Bolt?
No, I have a Nova 24, which you can just see the arm from.
It's a big boy. And then
I have a Bolt right next to it.
That's awesome. What do you think of the Bolt? How is it?
I love the Bolts. So if I were going to buy one laser to start out with now, knowing what I know, that's the laser I would buy because it has the RF tube, right? So you don't have to deal with a chiller. You don't have to there's not all these other places of failure that you could be like, wait, what happened? Why did that go wrong?
That air cool isn't that the price of like a Glowforge basically, or cheaper? But then you can also, it's got Z depth to do a cup. It can attach a rotary. Yeah. Like I don't know, it's kind of a winner.
Yeah.
In my book.
About $5,000 before the rotary and a Glowforge Pro 7.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good deal just from the RF
value proposition
of it alone. Yeah, because RF tubes are expensive. So aren't
the dot sizes finer too in RF tube?
They have better beam quality in general, not just on dot size. I do believe they have a smaller dot size, but just in general, the beam quality is better. So you're getting, as you're throwing the beam through all of the different mirrors and it's finally coming out of the laser head, it hasn't like expanded as much as some of the other beams, so it's staying more precise through the runtime of the job, especially on bigger ones. And then what was the bigger one that you said you had?
I have the 24, so they're actually kind of similar because it's a 60 watt. So comparatively to the 30 watt RF, they're pretty similar, and the bed size isn't a whole lot bigger, which is part of the reason
on the Bolt.
The Bolt
20 by 12.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I always look that stuff up.
Somebody's been looking. That's what I'm saying.
Small footprint too for people that need a machine with a small footprint in their shop.
Well, and it's great too because if you don't know what you want to do, and you're coming from, the people that I encounter a lot are people coming from crafting world. They're not people coming from woodworking, right? I feel like you can't you easily transition from both of those places. These are people coming from crafting. So the idea that they're going to suddenly be like, I'm cutting 1/2 inch, I need a 130 watt laser is probably not the case. They want to engrave keychains or make recipe cutting boards or make stamps. Like those things are all very simple to do. And cups. I mean, people are like bananas on the tumblers.
They're money makers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And up until recent, Thunder's been begging us to review one of their machines. And I've always been kind of like, like wishy-washy on whether or not we get something, but the Bolt has really caught my interest. I have to say, like, it just between the small footprint and the RF tube, it just seems like a tight little package that wouldn't eat up a ton of space in the studio, and it would be a lot of fun to play with. I'm glad to hear that you like it.
Yeah, it fits nicely on a Husky cart. So like it's just really easy. I mean, mine's literally sitting on my desk because I'm out of room in my space here.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a desktop machine, right? I mean, that's kind of what it's for.
That's what's wild about it, dude.
Yeah.
I'll play with it for you, Alex. You can send it my way. I'll play with it for you.
Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that. We have the link to the Laser Maker School, but not to the Bolt group. Do one of you guys have it? The Bolt
I can find it while you guys are talking. I'm on it.
I just want to make sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure we get that in the description for people that are going to want to check that out, because that definitely sounds like a good resource. Are you still the only group for the Bolt right now?
As far as I know.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I totally missed that one. The other thing, and this is kind of like a sharp left turn here, but while I was on your YouTube channel, which we're going to circle back around to, I saw your very top link is it an ebook? It's called Kerf Simplified.
Oh yeah. It's just like a PDF with some SVGs. So the first time that I heard about Kerf, I was like, what in the heck is this? And then I saw that was another place where people just get really stuck and they're really like, they don't want to tackle it. They don't want to waste the material. And I always like to find one, I'm a little bit lazy. Like I like to do things the fast and easy way. Like the idea of doing a material test that's like this big with all the circles, that's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do it as simple and as fast as possible. And so just really finding a way to make Kerf make sense for people. It's just a really simple little PDF and SVG so you can do it yourself.
So there's a link in the description for this, guys. And here's the page. This is what it looks like. And I'll actually sign up for this really quick because I'd love to check it out. Yeah. So I'm going to pull this up really fast. I should have been more prepared and had this ready to go, but
well, hopefully it'll come to you. I think you have to confirm your email probably.
Oh, no worries. Well, then you guys will just see how easy it is.
There it is.
Get unstuck.
I don't know why I'm recommending Pat Flynn there, but okay.
Is it automated?
Yeah.
No worries. All right. I will pull that back up in a second. I'm going to handle my email on the back end. You guys would do well to take advantage of me not talking for a moment, because it's probably going to be the last time while we have.
Let's have a party. Well, Katie, what have you been up to since what's the thing we did?
LBX.
There it is. I couldn't remember to save my life. What have you been up to since then? I know you said it kind of inspired you a little bit.
Yeah. So LBX. So I've been trying to figure out. I really wanted to make my business education based because that's what I like doing. I think it's really fun. But I had been sort of struggling with exactly which direction to go, because a lot of my videos that had done well historically were Glowforge videos, and then Tumblr videos were doing really well. But I knew I wanted to focus on the basics. And I talked to a bunch of people at LBX that were just like, I just want to learn Lightburn. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know how it works. And so I started working on my course, which it has the silliest name, but it's easy to remember. It's called You Can Laser. And it's just really, it's project based. So you learn Lightburn while you're doing projects. So the first project, you make a sign where you learn to engrave and score and cut. And you learn how to test your materials. And you learn how to set up a really silly material test that has nice corners so you can see, did I get burn-in that corner? And those little things, but also we repeat the tips and tricks that you do in Lightburn, like how you can shift, click a layer and see everything that's on it. Just like those little things that make your workflow faster. Mm-hmm. So I've been recording all the videos for that. I have some students that are going through it right now, and they're giving me tons of feedback, which is really helpful. So I'm re-recording things that I'm like, oh, yeah, I left that out. Oh, I didn't think about that. One of the things we were talking about the other day was if you're buying files, how do you know that the file you're buying is going to be good? How do you have any idea that it's going to work for you at your level that you're at of design?
This damn file, this file right here, a lady sent it to me and she's like, I bought it. It's a laser file. So I already got it for you. It's ready to go. And I was like, awesome. 25 minutes to make this thing laser ready. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to charge you for that, lady. Like, I love you, but I like that was like a half hour of my life that I'll never get back.
Right.
So just saying.
And that's the thing that you don't know until you get a crappy file. And then you're like, oh, I needed to look for these things in the listing and I needed to figure that out. So even just those little things are things that the students are helping me to be like, oh, I didn't think to talk about that. Or, things they're getting stuck on that I'm like, oh, right, I forgot about that because it's been a while since I've had that error happen to me. Or we talk, a lot about origins. How do you set your origins? What are the ways that you do that? What are the ways that you do that?
Is the course new?
Yeah, I haven't even released it publicly.
I was going to ask because while we were stalking you online, we noticed that your website was like not all the way done yet. Yeah. So like if people were interested in participating, what's the best way to do that? Is it to reach out directly to you?
Yes.
Or yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Definitely.
And there's a contact me button on your page though, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So like that, because that's what I was saying. I was like, oh man, she's got the course set up, but then I was like clicking it. I was like, I want to join. I was in the email.
I have to say, like, the kerf guide, this looks super cool. There's a ton of instruction in here. I was expecting like literally, and there are a couple like just SVG files, but you've got like a whole PDF in here.
Well, I want to make sure, like I said, I'd like to have the step-by-step of here's how to make it easy.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. So I watched like 3 of your videos today, and that's one thing I can say. If you haven't checked out Katie's channel, she's very good at procedural explanation. Right. Yep. Like literally, because I was watching, the one that stood out to me was when you were doing the full wrap tumbler, because I hate that. I had a lady call me. She's like, I need 20 of these. And I was like, cool. Let me give you a couple of people who do them better than me. And I just passed that along because like that, just the time it takes to do. So if somebody else is going to have a great day because of that. So I sent her along, but that's one of those things where like, if you can learn to do it and you can get the file set up, that's the biggest hassle. And you did a good job of explaining how to set those up. So if you haven't seen it, go take a look.
I definitely want to talk about that too while we're on the subject. Here is the channel. It's Things Katie Makes. It's right here. And you guys can subscribe to it. There's a link down in the description. And she covers like a ton of topics in just, again, 46 videos. It's like really impressive to me that you've garnered such a following with Sophie. It took us a long time and a lot of videos before we started to gain traction. And you're just like killing it right now, which is super impressive. And these look like a lot of fun too. Like the stamp, my stamps have never looked that good. Your videos look so good in general.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that one.
Look at how good her videos look.
Her production quality is no joke.
For real. And I can't. My internet is just not having.
Well, it's
right
mostly just
the StreamYard, but
the cute background. Like, look at that. Like, mine is like literally like this industrial mess behind me. Yeah, like trash.
I'm in a basement. In a very office looks like a 9 Inch Nails music video right now. Ridiculous.
And then look at the quality on the camera too. What was great is like right before, like I told Alex I wanted to buy the one camera that Katie is using right now, and he's like, "Don't do it." And then I see her looking great, and her videos look great. Damn it, Alex. Anyways,
sorry.
It's all good. It's okay.
The other thing that I added to the description is the direct link to the Kerf Simplified. So if you guys want to download that, it doesn't cost any money. It's free. You just pop your name and email in there, and you'll get the whole guide sent. It's sent right to my email. It came in a nice little zip. So that's just a free resource you guys can pocket for later. So I'd definitely grab that.
And I love answering questions. So if you find me anywhere that, I respond on all the channels. I respond on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram because, like I said, I like to nerd out about this stuff. The reason that the course is something to do is because I wanted to have something that really was just step by step by step. If you try to do it on YouTube, you guys know this, YouTube will never show that stuff, right? You have to be, I do a lot of that procedural step by step, but I have to keep it tight. And some of these videos are just long and they get really, they would be so boring outside of, I want to know this exact thing that I want to do.
Somebody sitting there like,
yeah. And it's step by step, but it's also, then it's at your own pace, right? You can just you can come back to it. You can go to it again when you need to go back to something like libraries. How did you do that? How did you save that thing? How did you do that? So that's why the course is there.
Nice.
I had a question for you.
Oh, I love questions.
I know. So, you basically on one of your pages, I saw it, and I'm trying to find it now, but it said you were a corporate something to now a laser educator. What was it? Corporate.
I call myself a corporate dropout.
There you go. Yeah. So what was it? Because this is a question a lot of people ask all the time, and it's what I'm currently working on too, which is like starting a business with your laser. Like, what was it that made you feel like, okay, it's time to stop doing this corporate thing? I'm ready to pull the plug. And like, how'd you kind of come to that decision and be brave enough to do it?
I was in corporate retail for over 20 years. I worked for some very cool brands. I spent a lot of time at J.Crew during like the heyday of J.Crew, which was really fun. Yes. And then in my last job, it was during COVID, and there was just a lot of commotion and change. And I started playing around with my Glowforge and was like, this is really fun. I could really get into this. And I had seen all these different educators in the Cricut space. And I was like, there's nothing like that. And even if there is, it's so small. And only, one creator can only do so much at a time. So there's plenty of room for more people too. So I thought, let's just try it. Let's like see how this goes. And I was doing that on the side. And then I got let go from my position.
Oh, so they
forced it on me, and it was just good timing. And it was like,
it sounds like you were like, oh no,
they made the decision.
It was honestly the best thing that could have happened. It was a rough spot. We were not compatible at that point, the boss and I. So it was great. And it was just like, okay, I'm going to give it a go.
That's one of those we decided situations.
Yeah.
So
that
you
was
brought
really
your laser and fired it at them, right? You fired the laser at your boss. Got it. Nice.
But definitely that first year or two, it was really just like figuring out what I liked and what I wanted to do. And it was a lot of spaghetti at the wall, right? I tried a little bit of everything. There'd be things I'm like, okay, I see this is really doing well based on all the Etsy research I've done. I'm going to do this product. I did like little bracelets with like little teeny tiny cute name tags and sayings, and just totally bombed. I was like, I don't like building up a whole launch of products. That's not for me. But that doesn't mean that that's not for other people if that's the way they want to do it, is a big launch. And I know how to do it. I know how to also bomb at it. So I was like, okay, that's not for me. But what do I like doing? And I like the relationships, and I like, like I said, I like helping and seeing someone be successful. We were talking a little before. I have someone that I've worked with since she got her Glowforge. And she was like, I don't know if I want to start a business. But we started talking about her passions. And she's really passionate about memorial ornaments and beautiful memorial things because she lost her daughter. And so she was like, people don't talk about her. I like having things that are memories of her. And I was like, then go for that. Make things that other people like you would want to do. And it just helped her to be excited about doing that. And it's been really successable for her. She's been able to grow
genuine too, like finding that's one of the things that I just wrote about too, finding your niche. And that's not really not in that regard, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like you said, finding what makes you happy and finding what you connect to, because then other people out there who need that.
Yeah.
So it's a good call.
And so I just get energized by doing that with her and like talking through those things and be like, yes, helping people see in themselves what they maybe don't see.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is what I really love. And I also like connecting people to other people and things and tools and resources. So if it's like my friend Brittany, who does wedding signage, who's only on Etsy, I'm like, you need a website. You need your own email list. But it's connecting her with someone who's like, I really want to learn how to build websites. So she can do it at a more reasonable price for her and help her to do that thing. And it's just, I enjoy all that stuff.
When I see here, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
I was just going to say, I noticed your storefront and all the products you had listed. Is that a Shopify site?
I have both.
Okay.
My Shopify is a mess right now, but I have it because of its connection to YouTube. So the goal is to like clean it up, make it connected to YouTube. But I have my Etsy shop. I had done physical products on there. And then someone asked me to make a template to share the template that I used for my wrap tumblers, for my Stanley wraps, my full wraps, with just the blank template. And so I put that up on Etsy, and that like I can switch over to entirely digital only and do more sales just doing that like 5 templates than I did in any of my physical products. So that was kind of exciting and fun. I was like, oh, that's simple. It's just, but it's not. And the time it takes to get it right, someone is willing to say, I don't want to spend that.
I would absolutely do that. I'd be like, here
How
you go.
much is it?
And I think I looked today, they were like $5 or something. Or
Take
like
my money.
Yeah, I'd pay 10. Here you go.
Buy it twice.
Because anybody, I mean, talk to Kyle. He sets up all kinds of jigs and fixture stuff, and like he's the kind of guy that does that. And he's like, I can see him playing like 80s music, you know, in the background, Fiesta, right? And just like he's like, and then I'd be sitting there like, oh. So, anyways, just saying.
Well, and it lets people do the part that's fun, right? If you don't have to make the template, then you get to just drop the designs in, which is the fun part, instead of like, okay, let's measure this 10 more times and let's run it again and again.
Because you literally have to run it all night long.
Dear Lord.
Sorry.
I'm going to throw another wrench in the conversation just because I'm curious. On your Instagram, you have a bunch of interesting links on your link tree. I found your link tree, which I have, and we will add to the description of the video as well.
This is good. You're helping me find all the places that I'm like, ooh, those are holes I need to plug and fix my digital footprint here.
You have a link to CMB acrylic, this looks super cool. Can you talk about CMB a little bit? What's your experience with them? What do you like picking up from them? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again so people can see what I'm drooling over right now, but it looks like they have some really cool stuff.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I love about the laser community in general is how as a maker, you're a small business, but you're also able to support all these other small businesses that support makers. Mm-hmm. And I found CMB really early on, and I needed something that I emailed Melody, who's one of the owners, about, and we became friends. And she answers like every question I have about acrylic. And I love acrylic. And she was doing like a mystery box for a while that I was getting that had all sorts of crazy things in it. But they've expanded a ton into, they also offer bigger blanks now. So you could order something that maybe your laser isn't big enough for, and then add to it. So for like the people who do those giant wedding signs or event signage, so she'll do like the big arch and send you that. And then you can do all of your acrylic there. So I have
a laser cut the arch for you.
Yeah. So they have a couple Thunders. Nice. They have UV printers, so they can print anything you want on acrylic. So you pick your pattern, they'll print it on there for you.
That's super cool.
So you send her a list of names, have her print that on clear acrylic with black, and then just put standoffs over it and be like, I did it.
Yeah.
Dude, these are so pretty. You can just like buy these and just hang them on your wall. Like you don't even need to cut anything out of them.
She has a group called Acrylic Obsessed, because that's how like you just become.
Well, I actually did an unboxing. So I ordered, they had a buy one, get one free deal for Black Friday.
Yep.
So I jumped all over that, and I bought like, I don't know how much, but quite a bit. I did an unboxing video here recently and did it because I like their stuff too. But the thing people don't realize is you can go buy a whole sheet, 48 by
96.
40 by 96. And they can say what dimensions you want to cut down. Just buy the whole sheet. They'll cut it and ship it to you. Mm-hmm. So if you have like my Mirror 9 is 24 by 36 roughly, I can say, give me 24 by 36 sheets and send me the scraps. Yeah. And they work with you on that stuff. And I'm going to actually use them for I'm going to do more fundraisers for schools, get the school's mascot, print it on the acrylic and make earrings. Bam, easy product.
Easy product. Take my money.
Blood spatter?
Acrylic, dude, that's so cool.
I'm a Dexter fan, too.
Yeah, we need to, Kyle, did you grab the Linktree link yet? Because I want to make sure that we get that too. If not, I can copy and send it.
But that Buffalo,
those would be really cool, like glass window style, like like designs you could.
Well, and just as backers on Christmas ornaments, like that's so easy because then there's no painting, there's no nothing.
That's what I use for all my acrylic. That's what we use ours for all of our backers for our ornaments and stuff. It's just no more painting.
Yeah, and it just adds a little bit of depth. It gives it some depth and some contrast.
Well, like I'm sure when you find something they don't have, you send it to them. and they'll print it.
When people pick something up from CMB with your Linktree link, does it help to support your channel? And
Yeah,
stuff like that?
they get 10% off, and then I can get 10% off when I buy my supplies too.
Oh, nice.
So make sure you guys use the link in Katie's Linktree if you're going to go pick something up from them to try it out to help support everything that Katie's doing for the community, because I'm sure that'll go a long way too.
I love too with CMB, they ship free at $65, which
dude, that's nothing.
That's a pretty low threshold.
How much is like their 12 by 24 sheets? Like $13. Is that what it says right there? From 13. Click something.
Those are 12 by 19. So they're smallest.
Hold on, sorry, I navigated away. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at what's their smallest size, because that's the kind
of the fire one.
And see if it's better.
That's cool. 12 by 9.
I would make a Balrog out of that.
Oh, you could pick the core color too. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Interesante.
And you can get it paper masked on both sides if you want all that. And
you get the 3M on the back.
Yeah, the adhesive as well. Yeah.
Oh, look. Hey, they're here. Hi, CMB.
Yes.
CMB.
I'm just like covering Katie's face.
Well, I hope they liked my unboxing video I did today. It's a lot of fun, man. It's good. I've been using them in Smoky Hills.
Oh yeah. Did you send that to editing already, boys?
Yeah, I already posted it today.
Oh, it went up?
Yep, I posted it.
Where'd it go?
On Instagram and TikTok. And it's not on YouTube Shorts. Yeah, I want to put it on YouTube Shorts.
I haven't watched that. Yeah, send it to me. I'll put it up on the channel. Yeah, that'll be good.
Quick and easy.
That'll be good.
Yeah, they had a great sale, man. Buy one, get one free. I couldn't resist. I was like, oh, baby. And plus, we do our ornaments. So we had people at our show say, can you do this buffalo backer, but black and white? I'm like, yep. I went on my phone and ordered it right then and there in front of them. I was like, it'll be in here. Gotcha. Take their order. But again, like I said, you can get anything you want. If you're going to do a firefighter thing or cops or whatever the hell it is, you just send them the file and they'll print it for you, man. The UV printer's awesome.
Laura loved your video.
Thanks, Laura. So I often will just get also clear and white. So white 3015 specifically, and they call it out on their site because you can sublimate on that white really easily. Mm-hmm. I mean, as easy as sublimation is, but with sublimate, print and cut, you can do a lot of fun things in your laser with that. Mm-hmm. And then clear, I spray paint the back of clear a lot. And then engrave. So then you get just like the cool inverse. Instead of needing to paint something, you get that just really crisp look there. I like that.
Have you tried that with like photos? Does that look good?
I haven't done it, but I've seen people do that. I want to try that on the Bolt.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, the photos on the Bolt would be super dope.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've been looking at too is you have like an Amazon storefront page with like a bunch of stuff you recommend. You seem to be really into like resins and adhesives.
Yeah, I saw that
things
too.
Like that. Do you have any like secret thing that you buy on Amazon that just like has changed your world that you would recommend for other people to pick up? Because it looks like you have a lot of just little bottles of like special sauces.
Yes. So it's true because glues are like a big thing, right?
It's me.
Glues are a pain. My favorite is the Loctite, this one. Well, there's All Craft is a new one that you can get from Cerulean Tides. But this one, this Loctite one, it's not going to do it because I have product showcase off.
You have to cover your face. There it is. Yeah. There it goes.
That one I really like. But then also there's a non-toxic. So if you use like epoxy, but you don't want to use epoxy, you can use Crystalac. The Crystalac company, they have an epoxy alternative that you can use as a sealant. So if you wanted to do something on a keychain or something that you engraved and you wanted to put a sealant on it that was something different than a polyacrylic, they have something called Grand Finale that I really love.
Oh, that's really cool. Like that's
really cool.
Because there's plenty of times where like I've put like rub and buff onto acrylic because just
let's see if I have my bottle.
Put it in there. And that'd be really cool to like actually cover that up and like seal it. Because I always tell people like, hey, be mindful of this, especially on presentation night. You don't want to stick your hands all over it. Because like then the person's gonna be waving and have like black or gold or whatever color you put on there.
Right.
So
and what's great about that is it's non-toxic. So you can use it without needing any sort of PPE and it's water-based. So yeah, I do like all those kind of things.
You can huff it and not feel bad at all.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh my God.
that's
well, I mean, because you're forced to because of the small workspace.
Yeah,
HR. That's all. I'm not
in
out
an
of pleasure.
upstairs bedroom in my house, so I like to think about what sort of things are flying around in the air around here. So
yeah,
you're a nice person
and house safe.
I just tell my kids, hold this. And usually it's pretty toxic.
Well, if you guys have run out of things to click, we also have added the link to Katie's Amazon storefront down in the description too. So you guys can check that out with, it looks like plenty of things to spend money on.
Yeah.
Sublimation on acrylic, puzzle supplies. Are you a big puzzle fan? You like making puzzles?
Do I have a puzzle supply? Oh yeah, I did a video.
She's like, I don't know this stuff.
I do. I don't even
It's
remember.
like, what? I hate puzzles.
I think they're fun. They're not my favorite thing to make, but I also think it's a place that people need to be. You have to be careful, right? If you're gonna sell anything that's kids based.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Because there's a lot of regulations and things you really
liability.
Yeah, need to be careful with. So
from state to state, it's even crazier too. Like it's really nuts.
Yeah, that's one I might stay away from.
You have I've spent like half of this podcast just like looking through all of you have so much stuff. There's so many. You can just click and click and click, and then when you get to something,
well, she said like she gets bored.
I know. I love it. There's like another branch that you can go down, and then there's like 30 more links attached to that, and you can just keep clicking.
I don't know. I might need to clean that digital footprint up a little bit.
No, I like it. It's fun. It's like you don't know where you're going to end up.
So for Alex, who's ADHD, this is like great.
This is like a piece of candy for him.
It is accurate. Oh, you have a Pinterest too.
Oh no, not really.
Oh,
that's on my list for this year, though. No. There's like 3 links on there to like blogs from an old website I don't even have anymore because I tried Wix and I hated it.
Wix,
it's rough.
Oh my gosh, it was so hard for me to use. So I switched over to Squarespace, but I haven't like started a blog there yet because
Squarespace is very easy to use. Yeah,
so much easier.
Yeah. All goodies. I found the Shopify. It looks really good, actually.
Okay, wait a second.
It's random.
I just saw
it's
something
like
that I
physical
want to ask
products
about.
and.
I think it looks great.
Digital's on there too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It does. So, we should also link this. I will copy this too. It's just.
What are we talking about now? We're going to talk about the Star Wars Hotel. What'd you find?
No, I saw that and I was like, we're all nerds. No one here is going to be surprised by that.
Have you been to the Star Wars
lasers
Hotel?
And Star Wars?
I did. We went to the Star Wars Hotel.
No, you didn't. How was it? Super cool.
It was amazing.
Where is it at?
Well, now it's closed.
Your voice.
I haven't been there.
Now it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, it's closed?
Yeah, they had to close it.
What?
Why?
They didn't market it well, so they couldn't sell it at the level that they needed to maintain the cost. I mean, it was a 2-day immersive experience. It's like a combination between choose your own adventure and like a cosplay convention, right? Like,
damn it.
And it was so cool. So we have a 10-year-old boy, and he was 9 when we went, and he was super into it. I mean, he helped Rey board the ship and like helped her hide from Kylo Ren. I mean, and it was just totally immersive and so much fun. So we had a great time.
So what I found was it says, who does?
I don't think anything has ever been added to and removed from my bucket list so quickly.
Sorry.
Made him feel so bad. Way to go, Katie. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
What a roller coaster.
No, I saw the Elf on a Shelf. So we just got our first Elf on the Shelf ever. Yeah, my wife literally, we've had it for what is today, the 5th. So on December 3rd, I was like laying on the couch falling asleep, and my wife was like, I forgot to move the damn elf. She's like, can you go move it? And I said, what am I supposed to do with it? And she goes, just do something cute. And I went, nope, I'm a bad dad tonight. And I just rolled over because I'm like, I can't. Are you kidding me? And so she's like, I'll just do it myself. And I was like, you're the one who wanted it. You wrote the letter with her to Santa. You wanted that core memory. And so,
oh boy.
So, yeah, well, but like if you tell me, hey, go make it play Uno, I can do that. But I am not creative. I would literally give it a knife and it would just be sitting at their bed, like with a bagel. But they'd wake up with it like this. And
it's our first year with Elf on the Shelf too. I just stuck it up on the chandelier last night, and
mine just moved. I like really wanted to set that standard low so that I didn't have to keep it up. So all he does is he moves to a different location. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, but all I saw was I saw your post that said, I'm thinking about making some elf on itself with a laser. And I'm like, oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah. So now.
No, people do really cute things like little message boards so that the elf can leave notes.
Yeah, I did see one file that said mood meter, the Santa mood meter. And it literally is like a smiley face. It's a wheel that just spins. And it's either a sad face, a grumpy face, like a happy face. And so like, this is what we're reporting to Santa. And I was like, because the other day they were fighting. All you hear is like,
"Oh, smart.
Levi, stop it!"
a little reusable report card.
Yeah, straight up. Like, ooh, today's. Clever. Oh, you got an F today. Oh no.
I don't. I feel like I'm just welcoming. Like the second that I brought the elf into the house, I started getting like ghost videos on TikTok. You know, like hauntings and things like that. Like really dark ass. Shit. I don't like the way it looks at me. I don't want it in the house at all. It scares the shit out of me. Yeah, we're definitely gonna link your shop. Katie has a ton of like digital files on here that look awesome. And she's being too modest about it. So we're definitely gonna link that if you guys are in need of any digital files.
Well, I do want to circle back to one thing though. She does offer coaching and it's very specific on her website here. So I see you do 30-minute coaching for where the hell? Damn it. I lost it. Damn.
I've just started doing that.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about your coaching?
Yeah, there we go. Darn, sorry.
I've mostly been doing Tumblr, like rotaries. People have been asking, like, help me set up my rotary. That's what I've done a few of those. Because there's just like, I just want someone to walk me through step by step. I don't want to watch the video and try to do it. I want to have you tell me while I do it. And so like we just walk through, we go on FaceTime and, you know, I show them on my laser what they need to do and then they do it on their laser. Now, granted, I have a roller. I do not have a grip, so I cannot help you with a chuck, but I can help you with a roller. But I also think, you know, I like to be available if there's something that someone's like just stuck, like something we were talking about of how do I decide which shop I want to do? Like I told you, I've tried them all. I had a Wix website. I have a Squarespace website. I have a Shopify store. Like I like trying the things out. And so I'm good at helping people to say, these are things I enjoy doing and these are things I hate. Like if you hate coding, Squarespace is really easy to use or Shopify is really easy to use. And if you never want to have to drive your own traffic, go to Etsy. So those are some of the things I like to help coach on. Or if it's just like, I want to walk through Lightburn step by step with someone rather than watching a video and doing it. It's that kind of stuff.
You're kind of like a high school job fair. Yeah. You got like a little bit of taste of like all the things and people don't know what they want. And then they go and then you tell them what they want and then they do that.
I think sometimes too, people need some validation that they're making an okay choice.
She's the guidance counselor at school. That's who she is.
There you go.
I see that you like finger painting. I have an idea.
Yeah.
Work with your hands.
Like, have you ever had that thing where you just like, you think you know the right choice for you, but all the things on the internet are telling you to do something else?
Yeah, right? Like my whole life.
Everybody needs to be on TikTok. Well, not everybody needs to be on TikTok. If you don't want to be on TikTok, don't be on TikTok. But these are things you have to do instead. And so I think sometimes people just need that validation of like, it's okay to do the thing that feels good to you, especially if you're building a small business and you want it to live within your lifestyle. You know, like when we were talking about Matt, like when you leave a corporate job, you don't want to work all the time. That's not the goal. How do you make a career out of doing these things that fits the money you want to make and the time you want to work and the stuff you like doing? Do you like repeat projects? Great. You can crank those out. Do you not? You need to do big stuff like event signage. You need to get with your local wedding people. You need to be doing expensive things that you can do one time. So,
see, and I'm the other way. I'd rather do 300 of something and make a way smaller amount and just make 300 of something. Because but that's the kind of stuff that people need to know about. Like, what's your niche? Where do you fit in this market? How are you going to get that? Do you have access to that kind of stuff? Or the capital to actually purchase that many things?
Right. I like that people can even reach out to you just to find out what their options are. Even if they don't know, like they know that there are options, but they don't know what they're choosing from. You know? And it sounds like you can give them like a full picture so they can make an informed decision and you can help them along the way too.
I think it's similar to like as you guys are doing more scope of the different kinds of lasers that you're talking about, like not every laser is for everyone, right? And there's not one best laser.
No, they all have different jobs. Yeah.
Yes. And it's the same with all these other things. But I think it's a place that there's a little bit of a void. There, you have to go down so many rabbit holes to be like, okay, but everyone says Etsy, so I feel like I have to do that.
Right.
Well, you don't have to.
I
use Etsy only for digital. I'm not shipping nothing.
I use Etsy only for shopping. That's I literally don't. Yeah.
I don't think I even have an Etsy account besides the one I set up to play with for this channel. I need to get one though.
What is Kyle hiding?
What's going on there, Kyle?
Nothing.
Oh my God, there's so many of them.
There's more. Yeah,
the bodies.
That would be a discussion for another time. There's a lot going on there.
Opinions on the Sculpt Fun laser. Have we had a Sculpt Fun come through?
We have not tested any of them actually.
Haven't tested it. I'm just scrolling back through chat. There's a lot in chat.
We were supposed to take a look at one, and it just never came. So.
Oh, here we go. I'm stealing Kyle's job. What website do you recommend to start selling your own products? That sounds like a perfect question for you. If you had to pick one, Katie, where would you push people without knowing anything about what they want to do?
I think they have to choose between, I would say either Etsy or Shopify. And realistically, you can have both. Shopify connects very easily. I like things that integrate easily. I like things that just work, which is why I like my Bolt, because it just works. Right. Similar to why people like the Glowforge when they start, right? Because when it works, it just works. When it doesn't, that's the whole other thing. But Shopify connects really easily to most of the places that you're probably going to show up online if you're doing anything social. So Shopify connects really easily to Instagram. It connects here to YouTube. It connects to TikTok, I think. It connects to Facebook. Like you can connect it to the whole meta universe really easily. Yeah. Etsy realized that and now has a coupon where you can, or a link where you can actually share and not pay the extra fees if you're sharing your own link to your own store and driving your own traffic. So they're incentivizing people on Etsy to bring their own traffic. But if you don't want to worry about traffic, you can go on Etsy. But then you also do need to think about all the things that Etsy sort of requires to make your listing good, which is you must have 10 photos. You will do better if you have a video. You need them in this size and this shape, where Shopify is like.
And then there's like the game of playing with like prices to stand out. But because like starting at $2.99, but it's not even engraved or in the country yet. Like, wait, what?
That is frustrating for sure.
So there's like so many things.
A big differentiator too, because I would think I'm not Shopify's biggest fan in the whole world. It's fine to me. Other people obviously adore it. But one thing that I really appreciate about Shopify is its integration with like the legal and finance tools, like QuickBooks and TaxJar. I'm a big fan of TaxJar for like managing sales tax and stuff like that. You don't really have to deal with that on Etsy. So that's one of the bonuses about using like a marketplace, is that it's kind of Etsy's problem. But Shopify does a really good job integrating those kind of tools as well. And I think that's really important, because that's the last thing everybody thinks about. And then they open their store and they're like, oh my God, I have to be compliant with things. And it's a big challenge. And with Shopify, it isn't so much. So
and you can use their policies instead of needing to go buy a policies contract, which if you're doing on Squarespace, you might need to do. So
and one thing that's nice. So the other thing I would add to that with Shopify, if you have a finished product that doesn't really need alteration, like for example, Boyce's item he was showing us before we got going, he's like, I'm making this for the local school. Cool. There's no personalization. There's nothing beyond like what it is. Then you can put that there. And that is the perfect thing for Shopify, because people can click, I want 4 of these, and that's it. But the part where I feel like it's frustrating is with communication. Like if you're trying to personalize something, now you have to add in the good news is there's apps and a lot of them are free, but it's just one more avenue of communication that you have to monitor. And so it's one more thing. But once people get to know how to communicate with you and do that, like I've had a lot of repeat orders through the website because they know how to use it now. And it's easy. So like when I have a realtor who just buys, I want this cutting board, and they tell me what they want on it, done, So, but it takes a little bit of work too, for sure.
Yeah.
While you're doing all of this like coaching and like life lesson learning and teaching with people that need a guidance counselor, are you also like running a laser business in the background while you do all of the rest of that stuff?
I do very like minimally. So I do a lot of local stuff and then like random things that I'll put up that I'm like, oh, I made this. This is fun. I want to do this. I'm able to pick and choose. But yeah, I do like testing things out. So I will test a lot of stuff locally.
I only ask because Andrew said self-driven marketing or not is the real question. And a few people have agreed with that. And so I'm curious, like when you were confronted with that choice, what did you find was better for you and what you were doing? Like, do you prefer marketing things yourself or do you like being put in a pool?
I like the Etsy driving the traffic to me to help me, especially because I had no idea what my niche would be. And I wanted to throw spaghetti at the wall because that's why I got a laser, was like, I want to try it all. Yeah. And while I was learning, okay, I hate making this thing. Okay, but that's okay because it's selling well and it's highly profitable. Can I find a way to make it better? But I think that Etsy helped me to find things I enjoyed doing that people wanted versus trying to drive the traffic to the specific thing and having to like, I never want to have to be on social media to feel like if I don't do this, I won't have customers. For me, social media is there to like, I went on Instagram because it was just fun to share the pictures of things I was working on or things I was learning. And I have not been on it as much because I don't like doing reels. I'm a much more long form person. Like, that's it. I like to go, this is how you do this thing. Me too. So reels, if that was my job and I had to do reels to make sure I had customers seeing my stuff, not for me. I would immediately just go local and like try to build up my B2B business.
That's basically me, right? Yeah.
Instead.
Like I posted a video the other day on Instagram just because I was like, oh, this would be a cool one to watch. Plus I was trying to tag specifically someone who I'm trying to get to be a client. And so I posted on my Instagram and it was very clearly a targeted message because I haven't posted since last October. So I was like, ugh. But it got like 3,000 views and like 50 likes in a day. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But like, you know, it's one of those things where, like you said, if I had to do that you need to hire somebody, man. At least for me, I stink at those things.
I don't enjoy it. And there are people who do, who like are fine with having a camera on all day in their space and like can make all of that interesting content and fun and the behind the scenes and they love doing that. Then that's great. You're going to build up a following that you can drive your own traffic. Awesome. Do that. But if that's not what you want to do, don't push yourself to do that. Find a different way. You know, I mean, you find so many people who've had so much success, like you said, realtors, local bars, all the different things that you can do.
And that's the thing with me, local, like it's a lot of it's just been word of mouth for me. Fortunately, like I feel very lucky. I felt really lucky. A lady broke her foot last year. And she said, like, literally, that's what happened. She called me and she goes, I broke my foot and I can't go get the gifts that I always get. So I need 50 of these cutting boards. And so I'm like, okay, I can do them at this price for you. I see them on your website for 75. I can't do 75. She's like, I'm like, okay, I got you. Here's the bottom line price. She was like, I love it. Done. Give me them. This year, I found out she's a regional manager for a really large corporation across the country. And she goes, I have district managers. I've told them about you. They're going to be calling you. And that was that. There's like 150 boards later in 2 days. And you're like, oh, sweet. But it's because she broke her foot and was desperate and somehow saw a picture of that a guy sent her.
Life be life, man.
Yeah. You know, so, but like, again, if they would have looked at my Instagram, it would have looked like a shadowy piece of wood on dirt. Like,
Photo room.
You never know.
Photo room. Get photo room. That is the one thing I will say. Get that app because.
Oh, photo room. What is that on? Is that like an iOS app?
It's iOS, Android, and it's on your computer. I already have it. I still don't even
use it. Or is it like edgy and uses an app?
Photo room.
Photo room.
Do you remember I took a picture of like my cup sitting on my desk and then it was somehow at a baseball stadium? I showed it to you.
Good job, like with the shadows and like.
Photo room AI photo editor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Real quick, while he's looking that up, Miranda says Matt thinks that's how everyone in New York State sounds, and that is actually how Alex does sound to me right now.
It is.
See, it is.
It is.
I have not picked up any accents out here on the East Coast yet. So
where are you on the East Coast?
I'm from Colorado, but I'm in New Jersey.
Oh,
Colorado.
God, Jersey.
So easy.
Yeah.
What in the hell made you want to leave Colorado?
We're basically neighbors.
The armpit of America.
That's all right. I'm from Florida.
I'm a New Yorker. I have to talk shit about New Jersey or I'll get put in jail.
Christopher says, "Hey, yo, that's
you're on the wrong side of the fucking Lincoln Tunnel."
Yeah, I'm Bridge and Tunnel crowd over here, right?
Or the Garden State Parkway.
It was going so well. Then
I had something really juicy to ask, and I've just distracted by New Jersey. It wasn't really juicy. It was a stupid question, but
that's a bad sell.
Oh, I see Justin Lasers on here. That's fun.
Hey, Justin,
New Jersey.
Whoops.
Get the New Jersey shit off of here. Laura says, you are the first person I've heard say that, Katie, and it's so refreshing. I always feel under pressure to like have to do one thing or another.
And that's because, we get the marketing and the algorithms that tell us that there's one path. And it's all and those are the people who are selling their stories. And that you'll find on my channel a lot of interviews, and I like to interview people that have different stories. I have one person who blew up with one ornament on Etsy, and then I have another one that was TikTok shop. But then I have other ones who are like, oh yeah, I realized I hated making all this stuff, so I just went digital. And it's fun to hear all these different ways
to find success.
To find the success that you want, because not everybody measures success the same way, right? If success is like, I want to be able to be home with my kids and make enough money to pay for all their sports stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's enough for me.
The other thing,
have a flexible schedule to spend time with them, right?
Right.
This job is hard. It's a lot of hard work and really long hours. It's not a 9 to 5, and one of the things that we used to talk about on the podcast all the time is if you don't want to do this, you're not going to succeed in the laser space or the maker space really in general, because you have to enjoy it to put in that kind of work.
Yes.
You have to. If you're miserable and you're trying to put in that kind of work, it's not going to materialize. So I think it's even more so important that you're choosing the projects and the paths that you enjoy along the way, because if you're not doing that, you're just setting yourself up for failure, I feel like.
Yeah. When you have to throw out the fifth version of the thing that you ruined because your settings were off, or you forgot to move the tabs on your rotary so that it didn't turn and it, destroyed your cup, you want to know you love what you're doing, not that it's going to ruin your whole day. Yeah.
Definitely. I saw that $2 sticker from MI Laser Guy, by the way. Thank you for that, man. We appreciate it.
Buy a laser, make millions, they said.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is when your limit switch fails, knowing not to panic and freak out when your Z depth keeps rising and it's crunching your bed, and you're like, oh my God, smack the emergency stop, calm it down. It'll be okay.
MI Laser Guy also said, there's also some reward for me that there is enough space for all of us to work here. The cost barrier to entry is high enough to limit the inrush of amateur makers. And that isn't true. You can definitely get into this as a hobby, and
$50.
It can grow into a business before I think a lot of people are ready for it to.
Yeah.
Because you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing so much for so many people. I've talked to so many people that have that experience. So you definitely can. Chris is here. Chris has been watching. This is my brother, Katie. And I brought him a couple really low end diode lasers, and I accidentally and him on making, and now his girlfriend is has a full-time Etsy shop, and they just totally fell in, and they have low-end equipment that's poorly suited for what they're doing, and they're doing it and they're making money, so it's you can definitely, I think, trip into this over the long haul. But I think more the barrier to entry is the learning. I think there's a lot Yeah, I think it's a steep learning curve, especially if you are a complete outsider and you've not used anything. I mean, even people with like Cricut experience have like some kind of like foothold, but if you're literally just starting in laser with nothing, it's a very steep upward learning curve, at least until you get, initiated with like basic laser software. What do you think about that?
I think you have to choose which things you're willing to learn and what you're willing to spend more or less on, right? So if you get a less expensive laser that you need to learn all the different parts and align your mirrors and do all of those things, you're going to spend time there and you're going to spend time on the software. And then are you also going to want to spend time on design? So you have to figure out where are the places that you're willing to spend your time expense and your money expense. So a lot of people, it's like, okay, don't learn design right away. Just buy files. Just buy good files.
Right.
Do that. Learn design when you're ready to learn design. And then you'll know what other softwares are out there. And if you even need a fancy software, if you can just do what you like to do in Lightburn alone. Yeah. And I think you can, if you're willing to invest time to learn, you can make almost anything work. You have to find the right resources. But yeah, that learning curve is steep. And I think there's a little bit of just, some of the tools have so much capability that you don't need all that capability. And so it can be intimidating, right? Like Lightburn is a really powerful, robust tool. I don't use, 50% of what's in there.
Yeah, me either. Yep.
At least.
And occasionally, like I will need something from that other 50%, and I'll use it once and I'll like hobble my way through it, and then I won't touch it again for another 2 years. But it's there, so it's a complete software, but you don't need to learn that like the back of your hand. It's not.
You need to learn what you need to know.
If you start a laser business and there are 10 aspects to this laser business that you need to really have down, and you try to do all of them at once, you're only giving like 10% to each of those things, and you're never gonna progress. I really like that you got to pick one thing, like give that 100%, get really good at it, and throw money or other kinds of resources at the rest until that thing is done, and then go to the next one and like eliminate expenses that way. I think that makes sense to me.
And you got to figure out the variables, right? Like if you're using crappy plywood on a laser that you don't know yet, which thing went wrong? Was it your settings or was it your crappy plywood? Like that's hard. I don't know.
That air pocket in the middle of a piece of plywood, that's always fun.
Right? Like people want to go with those like inexpensive things when they're getting started because they don't want to waste materials, but it also can be so frustrating because you're like, why didn't it cut through? And then like 70 people in a Facebook group are like, it's crappy plywood. You can see the glue. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes going with the wrong material that costs less ends up costing you 2 or 3 times as much because now you have to buy it 2 or 3 more times to get that lesson.
So there is something to be said for doing things the wrong way. I mean, that's why I know everything I know is because I've screwed it all up. I never, if you do everything right the first time and everything just works out for you immediately, what do you have?
Right.
Like I don't
less money.
You're not pushing yourself, right?
Okay, calm down. Yeah, I wanted to show this comment from Adam Lauderdale. He said, same $300 diode, now $30,000 into this dopamine trip.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, print and cut, so fun.
Yep. Just found out about it. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like you need it, and then you discover that it's there. Yeah.
Well, and that's like this on the cup that I was talking about earlier, like changing nodes, right? Like it was just one of those things where it was such a simple thing to fix the file. But it's just time consuming because you have to zoom in, get to the spot that you do, zoom back out, make sure, click. And it's just one of those things. But the cool thing is now that I have that, this is a very usable, it's Merry and Bright and then Merry and Bride. And so literally I'll use that again. Don't worry. Oh, so sure. I told her, I was like, so I can have this file. It's good. I said, did it come with a commercial use license? She's like, yeah, it did. And I was like, cool. So just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Justin Laser, $5 super sticker.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. We appreciate
Justin has a really good YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
He's killing it.
Yeah, Justin's doing great right now. You're slated next, man. We got to have you on. Speaking of which, I hate to do this to you, Katie, but we're over time.
Yeah.
And I usually give people like the last 10 minutes to like talk about stuff, and I totally missed it because we were just having a blast. So what if you, of all of the things, and we've covered so much tonight, where's the like one place, if they're not going to click any of your other links, where's the one place you want them to go to like get the Katie Devlin experience?
YouTube.
The YouTube channel.
Yeah. Because
Things
that's where,
Katie makes.
Yeah, my plan for the next year is I probably am going to do a lot more live training on YouTube because I find that that's actually quite fun. And it doesn't require editing because I can just leave it up there. So in addition to my regular videos, but yeah, so that's where most of my information comes out most regularly. Perfect. When I'm not in course creation mode.
Go sub. There's 50,000 of you. I think we can spare at least 5 of those over to Things Katie Makes. So at least 5,000 of you. Go down and click that subscribe button right now. We really appreciate it. Katie, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really looking forward to publishing our panel interview we did with you at LBX because that was really fun too. It's in editing right now. I'm waiting for we have sponsor ads that we need to include in that because we were sponsored to get the 3,000 pounds of junk we brought with us. Actually, to get it there was very expensive. So once those are finished, those panel interviews will start going up. Make sure you keep an eye out for Katie's. It was really, really good. $10 from Laura too.
Yeah,
thanks.
Also one of our sponsors habitually. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, Katie, it was a blast having you on. You're welcome back absolutely anytime. So if you have anything to announce, something cool coming out, or you just want to talk about how the Star Wars hotel was shut down, just feel free to hit us up. We'll get you back on for sure. And co-hosts, thanks for hanging out with me. Love you guys. And chat, thanks for being here live. We appreciate you guys. If you like the content, don't forget to smash the like button. Help everybody else know that the content here is decent, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified the next time we go live. It'll probably be Justin Laser. We gotta get him through here. Woo! And yeah, that would be fun. I'm just signing him up. I'm not even waiting. I'm just like, you're in next week, next Tuesday. You're coming on.
A boss laser like me, so basically we're brothers.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's legally how that works.
I think that's how it goes.
He's building an X-Tool universe too, I feel like.
And the LBX merch is still up on the shop. I still have not taken it down, so you can go get some of that. And
3 months
later, I don't know what else. We are publishing. I guess I'll just talk about
this LMA thing.
We're already over time. Yeah. So we started publishing today, and I posted more than one video today, which is a no-no in YouTube's eyes. But I wanted to get the first few out.
When I saw you posted a second one, I was like, what craziness is happening right now?
Yeah, I know. I posted 3 today just because I wanted it to feel a little more filled out. I really didn't like it. Let me share my screen really quick. But I have the first couple episodes of Laser Theory 100 out.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. They're short, little bite-sized episodes. So we have the first chapter overview, and then the first 2 lessons, and they're
good nerd stuff. I love this.
This is going to be the chonky nerd stuff.
I'm an engineer by background, so I like this stuff.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's what you just drops that on you. She's like, boom, engineer 2. Pow, pow.
Yeah, and so this Laser Theory 100 it has nothing to do with engraving. It's literally just about lasers and how they work, how they operate. So we're going to cover all the different types of lasers. And don't get me wrong, it's relevant to laser engraving and laser marking. And the contents of this course will help you understand things further along. But it's really to help kind of develop your sense of lasers in general. So that's why I think it'll be really fun. It'll be certainly a departure from what we usually do, and I think it'll provide a really solid foundation for you guys, because the next time you look at a diode laser and you're like, oh, this diode laser uses a semiconductor, I know what that means, and it'll be like it'll give you some context, so that'll be fun. And if you guys want more of the like laser engraving stuff, Kyle is actually working on Applied Laser, which will be our second course available that you guys will be able to take to. And they're just going up on the channel. There's some bonus stuff if you want to go sign up for the LMA, and we talked about that in the episodes. But the base of the course will be free. So make sure you go check those out. That was my last plug. Katie, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all coming out. And we will see you in the next one.